Well, as it was a lovely sunny day, I decided for the first time this year to break out into the shorts. So this morning I was up and out with my neighbour and we headed to this garden centre. Now you may have seen this image before. We went back to Carpenter's Park Garden Centre in South Oxley. And another one of my neighbours asked me to get some catmint when I was there, so I did. I picked up 2 of these. Myself and my neighbour had 11's in the Evergreen restaurant. I had a fruit scone with butter and jam, and I also had a decaf cappuccino to drink. And then we drove on to further up the road to Squire's Garden Centre. And yes, we did buy many things. I forgot to take a photo, but we did go in the cafe and have some lunch. I got myself the mini Caesar salad for lunch. And thank goodness for digital receipts, because a few weeks later I can't remember what I bought. And once we'd sorted out the plants of my neighbours and mine and my other neighbours, I then finally appreciated the tulips that were now open in my garden. Now, many years ago, in lockdown, yes, 5 years ago, this became a viral thing, a watering can with LED lights, and I decided to finally buy one today. And before I knew it, it was time to settle down and watch the Formula 1 qualifying session. And as I watched, I decided it was the right time to start sorting out my seeds and what I wanted to sow for this season. Of course, Blue is checking out all my seeds I've just sown. And here is the aftermath of me doing all my seeds. Yep, time to tidy up. So, how many of you have handbags or purses that you carry around with you? And so today I knew I was going out and I picked up my handbag. I'm like, this is really heavy. I really need to sort out this handbag. So I literally turned it out on my bed and I was like, yeah, I'll deal with that later. Well, it's 1:45 in the morning. And here I am, just getting into bed, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to deal with that. So here I am and I'm about to deal with it. Now, this here, my friend bought me for my 40th birthday as a gift. And I actually have found a use for it. And do you know what its use is? All my disposable gloves for work go in there. And they're all contained in there. But obviously, the last load I picked up, I just dumped into my handbag. So that has made the pile a lot better. So I'm just going to put those inside that little purse. So that's all my gloves in there. So that can go into my handbag. Now I've got receipts here. That can go. That can go. That can go. But I need to keep that one, and I need to keep that one separate. And then I've got drink sachets, which are starting to look a little bit mullered. And I'll need those for this week for a couple of my clients. I've got some sugars that need to go downstairs. More receipts I can get rid of. I obviously picked up a load of napkins when I was eating my lunch the other day, so that can go in the bin. That can go in the bin. That rack can go in the bin. That can go in the bin. Let me ditch that. And I woke up to Blue wanting a lovely cuddle from Mum. Oh, thanks, Blue. When I got up and came downstairs, I decided that I just needed to do a 10-minute exercise to wake me up and get me moving. Then I got myself a quick cuppa, brewed some washing in the machine. So do you remember this popular video that I did a few videos ago where I left you with this cliffhanger? Well, I decided first off I'd better go and feed Blue before I get sidetracked. Hey boy, what's this? Oh, big yawn. Is it breakfast in bed? Is it breakfast in bed? On your nose? Bon appetit. Take that seat out your way. Hey, yeah, breakfast time. Big stretch, Blue Blue. Yes. Bon appetit. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you jump. Yeah, you eaty. Now that Blue had been served his breakfast, it was time to tackle this. Okay, yes, you get to see me in my short pyjamas, but at least I'm tackling this lounge. Let's do this. Now, that's my lounge looking a whole lot better. I still have a pile of magazines down there to read. The sofa is now clear. This one, this is my stuff that I've got to do today. So I'm going to read the Gardeners World magazine. I'm going to read the outdoor magazine that I got from the garden centre yesterday. I've got my garden diary to update. I've got my work diary to go through to do my invoices in. And yeah, those receipts are for my home bargains video. Yeah, and there's a few bits of paper there that are of importance, so I could do that. That is to paint my welcome sign outside, but I need to get a paintbrush. I forgot about that bit. I need to get a small little paintbrush. I might see if one of my neighbours got one. So that's today's task, but I still haven't really got a home for those photos because they are in that box down there, but there was no more room to put those in there, and then the other one's got DVDs in. So yes, but my lounge is looking a little bit more welcoming, because yesterday my neighbour came by and she was like, "Oh my goodness, your lounge is really, really, really messy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, when I get around to it I will tidy it up." But I've also got my shredding pile over there to do in a little bit too. You see this cat? He wants his medication and then he wants to go out. So that's my next job. What do you mean you don't want your medication? What do you mean you don't want your medication? But you've got to have your medication, Blue Blue. And then I've got to put all my clothes in the dryer. And yes, those Lego bricks need to go in there. So that's my next task as well. So I have put the little bricks in here and tied that up. Now obviously I've turned that round so I don't show off my frame, because you probably won't want it to be shown. But anyway, that's all sorted and looking a lot neater. The Lego box that was there I'm going to take upstairs and put underneath my bed because I want to keep it. And this empty Lego box I still can't bring myself to throw out. I have to store it somewhere. So after giving Blue his medication, it was time to tackle the kitchen. Yes, today's very ambitious to-do list, as usual. The first load of laundry is done in the dryer. Do you think I deserve my morning cup of coffee now? I think I do. And look who's back again. Yep, Blue's back again. Right, time for some me time. Let's go and have a quick shower. So this is the bath filled up with my shower water, ready to use outside in the garden. Right, now ready to tackle the next thing on my list. Shh, don't wake Blue up. So, as we hadn't had any rain for a few days, I decided it was time to tackle the water butts and clean them out and get rid of all the crud from the bottom of them. I also tidied up the paving slabs that they were sitting on and got rid of all that grass and excess soil. Now, I don't know if you can see from this photo, but this paving slab is actually a little bit lower than the other one. And yes, that was a bucket full of grass and everything from that paving slab alone. Now it's time to tackle the second water butt. Now, this one is actually attached to the downpipe of the house, so this will definitely have a lot more crud in the bottom of it. So as you can see, this one is just below the waterline of the tap, which means I can't use the tap to drain it all out unless I tip it, and it's been going really slow, this tap, so I think the tap is also blocked. So yeah, let's empty all of this out over on my raised bed over there and give this a good old sloosh out and a clean out, take the tap off, unblock the tap, and then put it all back together, and then I will sort out this area here as well. So this is the area where the other water butt went, which connects to the overflow, the gutter. So yeah, I'm going to tidy up all of this and put it all back. Blue was actually enjoying chilling out in the porch. Don't know why, but he did. And I finally took the remaining 2 lots of lights off my fence from Christmas. Yes, I know, but they had actually died, the batteries, so they weren't working. And then it was time to go upstairs and dig out all my solar lights from underneath my bed. Yep, that's where I store them. I do, they are here. These solar firework string lights. And these I actually left out over winter and they really haven't survived. I've tried putting new batteries in and I completely forgot. And then the solar lights my friend sent me from America. And I put my little birdies just here for the moment whilst they charge up, and then I'll put them around the rest of the garden. Blue was happily and chilled out on the warm pathway. And then before I knew it, it was time to come in and watch the Formula 1, although Blue doesn't look impressed. Did quickly nip outside and put my tiger angel cat out. Even though the tiger bush isn't looking too healthy. But there you go. Then it was time to quickly grab some lunch and then settle down for the Formula 1. I also like to have a little snack when I watch the Formula 1, along with a hot chocolate drink. And when there was a lull in the Formula 1, I quickly got up and put some stuff in the tumble dryer, and then folded red hot out the dryer. Right, now the race is finished, time to get on with some other jobs. So I nip upstairs, go to the bathroom, and I come down, I'm like, what's that? What's that? Black feathers. Blue. So I go to the porch. I've just locked him out, by the way. Poor birdie! Poor bird. Yeah. Of course, I had to deal with said bird and then put the hoover around again. And then it was time to head upstairs and finally to strip my bedclothes off my bed. And then quickly run the hoover round my bedroom as it was quite late. And we actually had a lovely pinky sky that evening too. And that's a nice clean bed all made up for me to go to sleep in a bit. And I thought I'd bring you outside to show you those outside lights that I'd put up today. And for some reason the water droplet lights weren't working, and I figured out a few days later, after we'd had some sun and it was kind of dark, that I needed to turn the switch on, but I couldn't see what I was doing because it was too light to see them light up. So yeah, I needed the darkness to figure out that actually I needed to wait until it was dark to turn them on. So here are some of my lights. The fence. I've got my 3 bird spotlights down there. I've got some more the fireworks spotlights on the fence. Turn that off so I don't come on. And then I've got my fireworks stake light there. Got one there. There's my watering can and my water droplet lights along with my pond. I need to refill the water in that. We've had a lot of wind recently. But there you go, there's my watering can. So it looks like it's watering the plant. And then I've got another fireworks stake light there. And then I've got the other one there. So that's my garden all lit up for the year.